women stay in a toxic relationship, they're stigmatized. There was that one girl that made your toes curl.
What about the makes women so crazy? People leave relationships because of sex?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, is that all you got? Now I have to explain. I don't like it when you touch me this way. I like it this way. You need to teach the person all of it's exhausting.
Can you define it when a guy is underperforming in the bedroom?
I have cheated in most of my relationships.
Does size matter?
Apparently, yes. I've had the best with guys with a small. You know how men are, we don't want to talk about anything, and as women we start doing that little finger on the chest, and we are like, so.
Have you ever talked about after? How does a guy with a small ask his woman if he is satisfying her?
Men with a small they just have confidence. They know how to use it. Own it. Own the things you've got.
Isn't it? Doesn't it hurt?
I'm like, that's not going in me, because you don't know what to do next. You just stay, and it's like, okay, was that it?
What is your body count?
The last time I checked, I was around. Since my first virgin breaker, I write down the names of the guys that I've slept with. I love sex to the point that I put it before God.
Have you ever had for money? Do you regret all these things? Did you ever have a baby?
It's not even a baby yet.
Jesus.
To my young 15-year-old, if you can just delay having sex.
This has always blown my mind a little bit. About 90% of you that watch the show regularly haven't yet subscribed. So can I ask you a little favor? If you like what we do here and you like the show, there's three simple way you can support us is by hitting the subscribe button. And my commitment to you, if you do that, is that I will do every single thing in my power, me and my team, to make sure that this show is better for you every single week. We'll find the guests you want us to find, we'll do the topic you want us to do, and we'll listen to your feedback and make sure that every single week the show gives value to you. Thank you. In your opinion, why do people stay in toxic relationships?
It's the D.
Sorry, come again?
It's the D.
The D.
The D. They are stigmatized.
Oh, okay.
Women are stigmatized. If women stay in a toxic relationship, it's the dick. Because when we start dating, it's so easy on that we sleep with the person without getting to know them.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, we learned about the 90-day rule. Some women applied, some don't. It doesn't matter whether you slept with the person on the first night, the day after that, or 6 months after that. It's currently people are labeling it sex is just sex, but you're sleeping with the person without knowing all their traits. You're sleeping with this person without asking the right questions. So by the time the true colors come out, you've already loved the sex so much, and you'd be like, oh, but it's still good. Like, I'm not sure if I get out of it, if I'll get better out there. And so they stay. And that's from a woman's perspective, that's my simple explanation to it. Because honest to God, there are so many things why you should be leaving, but it comes down to sex. Because what more could be holding you? You'd be like, yes, he pays child support, or he brings in the income, and it's not like you're unworking and you can't do the same and you don't have the support, or there's so many aspects that he might be doing right, but your family is like, what is it about him that's keeping you there? Because you are doing everything as a woman. Whatever he is doing, you are doing double. Because women, we multiply. We've been formed by God that way to multiply. You can do better. But yet your family and friends can't understand. The moment they can't understand why you are stuck with him, it's the D. That's why women stay in toxic relationship. As for men, I've realized over time, especially I think with my uncles, my brothers, watching their relationships, it has to do with insecurity and financial constraints or shortcomings that they might have, as well as the family cycle, how they were raised. Those are the three things that place when men remain in toxic cycles, because they're like...
When women?
No, men.
Men?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was not a mistake, what you said, when men. So men like also being in toxic relationships.
Yeah. Some men do stay in toxic relationships because they don't know how to get out of it. Most of the time with toxic relationship, we only look at it from a female perspective. Women are the victims. But there are men out there that are doing so well that we're like, why is he with her? What is it that you just don't understand? But then over time, I've realized it's the financial constraint or shortcoming he's coming from, his own insecurities, and the family structure, how he was raised, that plays a role.
So, what is the difference between emotional abuse and manipulation?
Isn't it the same thing?
Is it?
I don't know. To me, it sounds like it's the same thing.
I've heard. I'm having a conversation with someone on Saturday, right? And she said that women stay in toxic relationships because they feel how manly the man make them feel. They love how manly he makes them feel. Like the beating, the imposing things on them, talking to them anyhow. They love it when the guy is exhibiting his manhood, on them, right? So is this manipulation or emotional abuse or the same thing?
I'm not sure, because to me it feels like it's the same thing.
Okay.
Because both are emotions that you don't see. Manipulation you can't see. Emotional abuse you can't see.
Yeah. So they are the same thing. Different nomenclature.
I believe so. I am not so sure on the basis of it. But because you can't see the abuse,
Coming back to your first answer about women staying in
toxic
relationship because of the D, right? What about the D makes women so crazy?
If sex is good, it's just good. You there's always that person that you had a real connection with, that even if you get married, you'd remember that there was that one girl that made your toes curl, and even if you get into a relationship with your partner as a woman, you'll be like, there was that guy that made me squirt. You remember? So and if sex is good, it's just good. And there's this fear of being naked and vulnerable again with somebody from the start. It takes a lot of effort, especially from women. Now I have to explain, I don't like it when you touch me this way, I like it this way. You need to teach the person it's exhausting. It's really exhausting. So I would rather stay with the devil that I know, like, even if it's terrible, I would rather stay, because that's one thing most women don't like repeating. Because if sex is good, it's just good. It makes us happy. We love sex.
So women love sex.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
Why do they pretend like they don't? Why do they make guys chase them?
Because we get judged. You guys judge us a lot. The rest of the world judges. We can't openly say we love sex.
Oh my God.
And you can feel it. You can sense it. And I don't know why it is so, but because we have been raised to be, what's the word? To be women that are...
virtuous women.
Yes, thank you.
The Proverbs 31 woman.
Yes, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. We can't be out there, and we are being taught to be that woman.
Yeah.
How to submit to your husband, how to be this womanly woman, how to be an elegant, classic woman, and you just can't be out there. So your man, the only person that you can be with like that is your man. And so there's that woman, there's that bitch in every woman, like she has it. And the man has to bring it out of her. Yeah. But then I can only expose this side of me to my partner that I feel safe with. And not all men can bring women to that stage in their lives. It really takes a special guy to do that.
Take a drink. My next question. You said there's always that one guy, right? That, made it tick. And he knows your body, he knows, how to walk you and all of that, right? Is it about how big his dick is?
Nah.
That brings me to my next question.
Mm-hmm.
Does size matter?
Apparently, yes, as per the society rules. But given my experience in the past, honestly, I've had the best sex with guys with the small dicks.
Can you?
I can't describe what small is because it's different.
I want to ask you what is
that. Let's just say every woman has a different perspective of what small and big is. And it depends on the number of sexual partners you have had in the past. If you don't have anything to compare it to, you wouldn't know. If you have something to compare it to, you would have an idea. And this is also where the whole what you take into your mind comes to play. What if you watched? What if you read? What if you've seen that's making you think your partner's dick is small? What if you experienced that's making you think your partner's dick is small? If you've not seen or experienced or taken such, you wouldn't think about it that way. But also, it has nothing to do with size on how to pleasure a woman. This is one thing that society should get right. And I don't know why they're advertising size as something that should matter. It really doesn't.
Yeah, but I've watched movies where women use gestures like, he's tickling my, he's not really in there, and, things like this. And that really plays a role in men's insecurities, right?
Yeah.
So you feel like the deeper it goes, the better she feels. Is this true?
Well, sometimes over time, with women, we talk openly, and my female friends as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that it's really not about the size. And sometimes as women, we just say things to make the next girl jealous. We just say things to cover up for we never want to be vulnerable in front of another woman. Our biggest competitor is another woman. Men always think it's because of them. It has nothing to do with you guys. Okay. I just want to make the next woman jealous that my partner is big. Or he satisfies me this way. I would brag about it. But meanwhile, I'm suffering inside like he's not even performing. I would never tell you that my partner is underperforming as a woman. I would never say that out loud. So we do that to hide. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it isn't true. But mostly with women, we just want to either hide the bigger issue or brag about what is real at that moment in time.
So what is underperforming? Can you define it when a guy is underperforming in the bedroom?
I think in simple terms, when you don't satisfy your partner, like, are you happy afterwards?
In terms of what? What is the measure? Like, what is it about sex that's what is the measure of sex? Like, what is the measure of satisfaction in the bedroom?
I wouldn't know actually how to answer that, because it depends on what the two of you experience together. How do you feel satisfied? Like, because you need to talk about it after the sex session.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Have you ever talked about sex after sex?
Yeah, always. How do you think I'm able to sit here and talk to you about it?
Oh my God, isn't that awkward?
When you do it, you know how men after sex, they don't want to talk about anything. And as women, we start doing that little finger on your chest. And we are like, so, yeah.
Like, is it good? Is it not? Things like that. Okay.
So sometimes, depending how it was, you can talk about it. Sometimes you can talk about it the next day. But then mostly I've learned that when you've been together with someone for quite a while, you know your partner. You do it soft tonight, or you do it rough, or you do it some dramatic way, or you just do the BJs and the cunnelings, and then that's over, right? Sometimes you don't even need to really have the penetration sex. So it differs. Yeah.
So it's really, really difficult to please women.
Yeah. It is.
Because right now I'm thinking, as you're saying all these things, and I'm just thinking about myself. Like, what may I be doing wrong?
But don't think about it that way. I might have been doing wrong. Think about it. What am I doing right with my woman? Because clearly you're doing something right that she's still with you.
Wait, people leave relationships because of sex?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The sex is bad.
I thought
if you aren't satisfied, if you aren't happy with how your partner is performing, and if you've spoken about it, and if there are other factors affecting. You see, it's so easy to leave the relationship when the sex is bad, because then you start to see everything else wrong. But
oh my God,
if the sex is good, this is where the whole being stigmatized comes in, and you remain in a toxic relationship regardless of all the bad things the person is doing. But if the sex is bad, it's easy to walk out, because you then see the rest of the things that are bad.
Look, I'm here just sitting. I'm sitting right here, so oblivious. And I always think that women fall in love with men because of their personality, because of who they are.
We fall in love with potential.
Potential.
Most of the time.
But then...
And then the personality comes in.
And the yardstick of which a good relationship then in that case is measured is dependent on how good the sex is. That's why if it's bad, you leave.
Most times.
Oh my God.
If it cannot be worked on, if it cannot be improved. Because women, we love to have this certain chemistry and feeling, because we are fairy tale, imaginative people. And men bring the reality in our lives. This is why we love men. You ground us, because we're always there, cloud nine. So if from the start we don't have that, I wouldn't even get into it. Yeah.
Okay. So to help men like me out there, what is it like? Because I've heard, you have to try to spice things up by, doing some things like whispering in the little nothings on their ears, like sometimes spanking and some, doing some fetish stuff. Like, what are all those about? Like, what do you feel like when you're being spanked, or things are being whispered in your ear, or
it honestly just goes back to getting to know your partner.
Getting
to know your partner, reading, asking questions. Be really open about asking questions, because if you know your partner's sexual history, because you might be having sex with somebody that was raped, and there you are wanting to perform whole BDSM spanking, that will trigger. Even if they've been healed, it will just still not make them feel good. So you need to ask questions to understand the sexual history of your partner and how you can satisfy them.
How does a guy with a small dick ask his woman if he is satisfying her? How does one do that?
So I think over time, what I've experienced is guys with small penises, they just they have confidence. And women love confidence. We love confidence in a man. Doesn't matter whether you have money or not. This is why men that have money are jealous about men that don't have money, because they're like, how did he get that girl? How did he get it right? Because I have everything and he does not have anything. He has the confidence. We love the boldness. We love the humor that he has got going on. So men with a small penis, they just have confidence. They know how to use it. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Is it all? Is it all men? Most
men, because I don't know.
Sure, definitely. Stupid question.
And even if you have big, so then they become too overconfident. They're like, I'm already blessed down there. I know what to do. And this is the mistake that they make, that I've experienced, that you think you know, but you actually don't know. So you just it's terrible because you don't know what to do next. You're just there, and it's like, okay, was that it? Because you think your dick alone satisfies me just because it's big. Yeah. So with the guys with small dicks, they do extra effort. They really go into foreplay because they know when they're in, and that's it. Because then they do their thing and they're out, and you're gone, sleeping, snooze, lights out. Whereas guys with big dicks, you'll be like, and even if you ride them, they just, it's yeah.
Okay.
I hope that really answers the question about size, because it does not matter. Size does not matter. It's how you use it. And a lot of people, I think, have really read up about it. And if
but women judge them.
We do. Yeah. We're like, oh, is that all you got? Yeah. Yeah, no, we do that. But then if he has confidence, then he shuts you up.
Women use that against them. Like, even though they have the confidence and everything, like this ever slightest chance you get, you use that against them, right? Women do that. I saw this movie that I think it was a clip I saw on Instagram. So the girl, he was in the bed with the guy and they were about to have sex. I don't know if you've seen this. And the girl, of course, the lady was just lying there, and the guy wants to say, oh, whoa, what was that? The guy was really shocked and was like surprised. What do you mean? What was what? Like, what? Something is touching me. What is that? And they said, what do you mean something is touching you? I'm on top of it. She said, no, not you, down there. What is that? Well, then she lifted the blanket. I'm like, oh my God, is that what you have? And the guy was like, what do you mean? Is that what I have? I said, no. I didn't bring you here to tickle me. Please go. And the guy felt so humiliated and all of that.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Right? And then she goes on to call her friend and was like, can you imagine? Like, and then she starts to, but I mean, this was a movie, right? And you know how women love to
brag.
Yes,
we do.
That's why I asked.
But it comes down to confidence. So
what would a guy do in this situation?
A guy that's small usually is like,
they're small and they're small.
I don't know about small. I've seen small on Pornhub, and I'm like, wait, is that true? It's a lot smaller than this. Like, it's just like looks like a little vagina.
Yeah.
That's so good. I swear,
if you are a guy out there watching this and you feel attacked, I'm so sorry. I apologize on your behalf.
I'm sorry because I even get shocked, because this is what I'm saying. What you input, it creates perspective in your head about what's small, what's small, what's big, and Pornhub is having all these big penises and vibrators. Even myself, I'm like, where does that enter? So
isn't it hurting? The big thing, the big one, the big dicks, isn't it? Doesn't it hurt?
I have not tried it. I don't know. Okay. I don't know, because I'm like, that's not going in me, because I just feel it's overly exaggerated. This is what I'm saying, what you put into your mind. So now you're expecting your partner to have a dick that looks like the one you've seen on Pornhub, which is, these people are taking steroids and injecting things that we don't know about. Surgeries. I've read about a surgery about
they do.
Penis enlargement and stuff like that. Like, you can't afford that with your partner.
Yeah.
So
these insecurities are because of women.
Yeah.
But because women have put this amount of importance to it.
Yeah.
Right. So men want to feel seen.
Yeah, but tell me, because with the partners I've been, they've really been confident, and they'll be like, I'm not small, I'm not big.
Yeah.
I don't know what your version of big is, but I can satisfy. I'm like, okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Or, you do it, and I'll be like, oh, and you don't talk about it actually beforehand. And it'll be over and like, wow, okay, that was amazing for somebody that's small. And then you would actually confirm my thoughts to say, I know I'm small, but I know how to satisfy you. And then we'll laugh about it, and then we'll start talking about it. It's all about the man owning his.
Yeah.
Own it. Own the things you've got. Own it. It's all about owning it. Yes. That's it. It's simple as that. Own it and say it. I'm small, but I can satisfy you. But also don't brag about it before. First perform, let me see. Or if you want to talk about it, talk about it. But then, you know how some men will be like, I can satisfy you. I'm better than your boyfriend. They're trying to get into your pants. But I'm like, why are you bragging about it? And then he brags and then he doesn't do anything. And I'm like, Lord, I just wasted my pussy juices. So, yeah.
Is social media destroying relationships?
Totally. I believe so. I'm actually not on Instagram. I deleted my Instagram account in 2019. Haven't been on it since because of FOMO, fear of missing out, and just the pressure. I was becoming a green-eyed monster, and I am not that kind of girl. I was like, who is this? Becoming envious and jealous about things I don't understand about how they attain it, and wanting it at the same time, but also not really wanting it, just craving it,
So you feel couples should take breaks from social media to improve their relationship?
Now and then, yeah. Especially the social media content creating couples. I've seen quite a few whereby they'll be like, no, we are taking a break of 2 months or 3 months and I love that. I appreciate that because sometimes you're just so out there. You think the comments aren't affecting your relationship, but they are.
It is.
But they are, yeah.
So how does constant comparison with other couples online impact romantic relationships?
It can be both positive and negative.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be because what I love about myself is when I see a couple, I want to go read about them. Yeah. What does Google actually say besides the YouTube that I've watched? Yeah, that I've watched. So you need to, I love when pastors are like, go prove me. Go prove the word that I've just preached about. So you go back to your Bible and reread it to your understanding. Because you just can't take. Yep. So there's two couples that are talking or that have gone to the Maldives and the where does their money come from? How do they source their trips? So these are the things that you have to go back and read about. So that you just don't think, oh, it's all glory, all beautiful, all heavenly, the golden glitter. No. How did it came about? What is their story? What's this? And this is what I think most women or couples miss. They don't go back to read because we are a nation that does not read. We are lazy to read. Everything is in the books.
Okay. Can you define cheating?
Why are we doing this?
Because I want to ask you about physical cheating and emotional cheating. That's why I wanted you to define cheating first. And then I drive in.
I don't know what cheating is. Okay. Let me tell you a little story. So, my dad has 20 kids.
Your dad has 20 children?
Yeah.
20 kids?
Yes.
How did he manage to pop out 20 kids?
Well, he's a guy. He did not pop them.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but from one woman?
No. Different woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How many women?
Maybe different 20 women.
Jesus Christ.
I think, I know that maybe from the 26 are two kids, but the rest, yeah. And
sorry, come again? 26?
No, from the 20 children, 6 are birthed from the same mother. 2 of each are birthed.
Okay.
Yeah. So, there is a gentleman in my country that has not birthed. How does one put it? He's a father of 50 kids. Yeah. Different woman. And on his death, everybody came together wearing shirts that say 1 to 50. It was amazing. It was just beautiful. But back then, men were just moving around impregnating women.
How do you take care of these children?
They never did. Women took care of them. So I'm coming from raised by a single mom, an independent woman, and this plays a big role in my relationship.
So your dad was never in your life?
No. And so
Do you know him?
Yeah, I know him. I got to know about him in my high school.
Wait, you got to know about your dad in your high school?
Well, he divorced my mom when I was 3, and my mom was really trying to get him to be part of my life, but he didn't really have a chance. When I got the understanding of my dad is out there, I started reaching out to him, but still he was a little bit. God really had to work on our relationship. It was a struggle. It's somehow.
Sorry, I have a lot to ask. So you have 19 siblings?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And from the
Do you know them all?
No, from the 19, I only know, I think 7 or 8.
Where are they?
They're back home. So coming to your question, cheating. I believe certain cheating styles are generational.
Mm-hmm.
Or cheating has to do with your family trait. It comes back to the bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
And how your sins are being looked on from this generation to the next generation to the next generation. Well, my mom was fortunate enough to be married to my dad, but they divorced. So what are the things that I should be looking out for? Am I going to be married and divorced? Should I pray about that? Or am I going to be cheating? Is that going to come to me? These are the questions that I sometimes ask myself because of the 20 siblings that I had. How many women did my dad hurt by impregnated them and thinking that he's going to create a little family with these ladies and then meanwhile cheating? Like, what's the word? A serial cheater. Because I have a sister of mine, she's 2 days apart. And I have a brother that's 6 months apart.
Wait, you have sisters that are 2 days apart?
Yeah, we all.
And they're not twins?
No, we are all born in the same year. Like myself and that sister of mine, we're just 2 days apart, like in age. Because I'm the 20th and she's on the 22nd.
Oh.
And my brother is 6 months, so in January. So this.
So how was it for you when you were growing up? How was your growing up experience?
My mom gave me everything I needed. I didn't lack anything.
But I mean, some people could argue that women need father figures.
Yes, we do. I have always craved for the attention of my dad. And no, I did not end up dating older men. I have this thing of not, because I know that's the next question, how some of the ladies look for father figure in their relationships. I had this thing of I can't still date older guys. Like it just goes beyond me. So no, and my mom never remarried. And nor have I had an uncle or somebody coming by whilst I was growing up.
So, sorry, remind me again, how many women gave birth to these 20 siblings?
6.
6 women. Did your dad marry them all?
My mom's the only one married from the 20.
They all never got married to other people, never? No,
I don't. They remarried. I don't know about
they remarried.
Yeah, I don't know the relationship about the other woman. All I'm saying is my dad, from the 20 children, my mom's the only one that he got married to. Yeah, so I don't know about the
other ones.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure they remarried and had their lives going on, and it was also really hard to track down my siblings because the moms really cut off ties with my dad or anything to do with his side of the family. So coming back to cheating, the way you were raised plays a role.
Okay.
And sometimes we want to cut off that part of who we are, but you can't. It's just
cannot.
Yeah, that forms the cheat. And this is what I sometimes think that social media paints. Like they want to just see you as a singular person. but you're coming from your mom, you're coming from your dad, and then there are grandparents involved and great-grandparents involved. You always need to go back to check your bloodline, track it. What did those people do? Who did they harm? Who did they bless? What are the things you should be avoiding? Because if you do it, it's going to cause some sort of hurdle in your life. So,
wow.
And because the reason why I'm sharing this is because I have cheated in most of my relationships. I don't remember a relationship that I have not maybe cheated, even if I did not cheat physically, that I might have cheated with by emotionally not being present in the relationship.
What is the difference between emotional cheating and physical cheating?
Physical, it just boils down to sex.
With other men, other partners. And emotional?
And emotional is you aren't getting what you need from your partner, that safety net.
Yeah.
That you count on them for this and that.
So you go for it somewhere
else. So you could be chatting, phone calls, you meet up and then you go to your best friend, which is a male, for emotional support to say, hey, my mom said this, my dad did this. You talk about everything else that is crucial in your life. Like my work colleague did this or my boss acted to me this way, but you don't speak to these things with your partner.
Yeah.
But you go to somebody else. So that's emotionally. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I gave my life to Christ, those are the things that I started looking at, like my bloodline.
What is affecting?
Yeah. And cheating is one of those things that I'm still busy, that I have actually pinpointed out and noted. And I'm like, wow, I really did this. I think cheating actually just boils down to you owning up your shortcomings.
Yeah.
It has to do with you. It has nothing to do with your partner. It's always about you. What are you trying to satisfy? What is lacking in you that you are seeking elsewhere? What validation are you not getting from yourself that you want to get from other people?
Interesting. So, would you prefer, instead of cheating with someone that you're dating, being in an open relationship? Like just saying.
No. I was asked, one of the partners that I was seeing is like, so can we have an open relationship? I'm like, hell no. And I broke it off immediately because I'm like, I don't know what open relationship is. I don't understand it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to understand it. I don't accept it. I was not raised that way, because to me, that's cheating. You're already inviting a third person. No, listen, you're already inviting a third person, because now you are cheating emotionally, physically, and everything. Now you have to have some sort of ground rules. You only see them after 5 o'clock, or you see them over the weekends. It's not to say, because I know your question will be, what about the sex, right?
Exactly.
When you agree together, you are exclusive.
Okay.
And then the sex part, it comes down to a fantasy. It's not because you want to involve third people in a relationship. It's just a sexual act that you want to carry out, that you need a third person. So that's what, and then it's one time or whatever you agree. But with open relationship, there are rules that you need to adhere to. And you stipulate this. And open relationship, compared to what our forefathers and parents did, we know how the African, some of the cultures, a man is allowed to have up to 3 or 4 women married. It's financially stable partners that are doing this. Now, you want an open relationship, but you can't even afford me. Now you want to bring in 2, 3 people. You want me to power struggle with them. And back then, it was so easy to satisfy a woman. I don't know why we want to compare. You would say, oh, because our parents were also doing open relationships. My dad was married to 3 women. Now you want to compare that lifestyle to this lifestyle. It's just not.
Can one man satisfy multiple women? Do you think it's possible for one man to satisfy 2 women or 3 women at the same time?
At the same time?
Yes.
I mean, you mean in a relationship or in a sexual act?
Marriage.
So marriage, you tell yourself, I'm wholly and truly yours and yours alone. And you're becoming one with that person. So why do you want to?
Men marry 2 wives.
Men can do it till a certain extent.
But in that...
But then they will never be fully yours. There will always be something lacking that you will end up seeking in another man. And that's when the cheating comes in. Mm-hmm. We don't have the history of the woman that our forefathers had. We didn't interview them. We didn't tabloid them. So what evidence do we have that they were really satisfied?
Yeah. Okay.
I just believe there will always be still something.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that you would be lacking. I mean, if you're a Christian, there's not even a question. Yeah. So it's a hell no. At the end of it, you will always lack something. That's the bottom line. I will go out to find it somewhere else because now you'll be only available to me on Tuesday evenings. So where am I Monday and the rest of the week?
So my next question. I want to go into the hookup culture.
Oh.
So is hookup making it hard for men to find serious relationship? Because I mean, now it looks like sex is for free out there. Like you can get it so easily. And it's so hard to know who the sex marketers are because everyone looks like the same. So, and now you hear a lot of women on the internet saying, but I did not have anyone that's, help me pay my fees, so I'm hustling. So it's given a name, hookup. It's no longer prostitution. So, in your opinion, how is this affecting men and women in relationship? Men that are looking for women for serious relationship and to marry. Mm-hmm. And also women that are looking for men to marry them or be in serious relationship with them that are not in hookup. Mm-hmm. How does this affect the both parties? The whole hookup culture that is going on?
It just comes down to honesty. Like you need to be, it's hard. Yeah. It's not easy because face value, I'll be like, oh, he's doing this. He clicks off every box that I have. And the guy would be like, oh, she clicks every box that I had put down. But we should learn to be honest with ourselves. What do I want? And if you can't get it in the person, let them go. Don't hold them. And if it is that, I'm a student, I need you to be paying for my fees. This is why I'm looking for a relationship. The person you are looking from it is probably not even able to pay for his own studies. He's on a scholarship or some sort of sponsorship, and you want this from him. So if he can't afford himself, how do you want him to afford you?
But some women go for older men that are even married, men that are way, way, way older than them. Mm-hmm. But this person is not a student; he's a businessman.
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah. When a woman decides to do something to make a living, to earn, and to get over whatever hurdle or hardship she's going through, she's not gonna fall in love. She's just like, I want to get the price.
Yeah.
Get it done and over with. And I guess that's what the hookup culture is currently. So you put your emotions in a little black box and lock it up and put it aside, and you just do what you have to do to move on until you can find somebody that will open up that black box.
Okay. So is that why women go for married men? Because I was interviewing one of my guests, and she said that ladies find married men attractive, that they are more attractive than single men.
The whole hookup culture thing is still a little bit new to me because I'm coming from the era of one night stands. So I don't know if it's the same thing as the hookup culture, because we know sex being a commodity right now. It's a little bit scary because I'm like, wow, people are actually doing that. As for the married man, there is something about a man that's just well established and has his act put together. One thing I can tell you now is to stay away from, most women are raised to stay away from other men that are already taken. And we respect that. We don't do it. But if he approaches you, you become a little bit vulnerable because he's got it all. And then here you are trying to build up your partner because you want to get to that place as well. But you also don't want to cut your blessings because you know that God is going to punish you for for letting the other woman cry tears every night because of you. Why would you want to cause so much pain to another human being?
But some women don't care.
No, some women don't care because they don't have the fear of the Lord in them. Aren't you afraid that what you are doing is going to happen to you when you get married? Like, for me, I'm like, does the thought not cross your mind that this could happen to you? What if you meet a partner that's a serial cheater, like my dad, and you get married to him just because you've been sleeping with other women's husbands? You just need to really seek redemption when you have been caught up in it.
Yeah. But why? I don't understand why.
I don't know why women do it. I don't know why we do it. I'm just like, my bottom line would be, we want what the other woman has. It comes down to, I want what she has. How do I get it? I want it.
But why don't they look for theirs? Why do you want what
it's hard
another woman has?
It's hard to build a relationship. You know how we've been Bob the Builder? I don't know if you've seen memes about Bob the Builder and the actual Bob the Builder cartoon. It's hard to build one. And now it comes down to acronym.
So you just simply go and take someone else's own that is built.
Yeah.
So you go into a home and rip up the husband. You don't care about the woman.
I have not done it, but I'm just saying this is what I've seen.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how
likely
are you to date a married man?
No, zero. Not even. I've had a thing with a divorced guy, but in my head I was like, no, not divorced. He was in the process of being divorced.
Yeah.
So
he's still married, technically.
No. He was still married, but he showed me the divorce proceeding papers because I was like,
you couldn't wait for the divorce to go through. So he was still married technically.
He was still married technically.
Oh, you say. So you've been with a married man.
Quote unquote.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah. No, listen, like when it comes to the divorce, guys, there's another way of describing it. It's like they don't live together anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just on paper that they're divorced and they've been separated for a year. And he showed, it's because I was like, you are still married. To me, in my head, I was like, yours, because until I have seen the divorce proceedings, you are still married. So he showed me the papers. And I was like, okay, I guess I could. But I would not shake off the feeling that he's still married. So you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really the whole married thing. It's hard. I don't know why we do it as women. I don't know what the new thing is of snatching a perfectly beautiful family and being a home wrecker. It doesn't settle well with me. Mm-hmm. I don't like it. Haven't done it except for that confusing stage of divorce, getting divorced, part of it. And I don't like it. I condone it completely. I don't support it. Because to me, it's like, it's going to come back to me.
So how has your lack of boundaries lead you to be overly sexual or maybe even allow men take advantage of you?
Oh. For the longest time, I struggled with self-discipline.
Okay.
Not able to say yes or no, and just not having boundaries. Guys, you need to learn how to have boundaries. Like, I've always been jealous about people that would say no to you. And I would just be like, how do you do that? And I never could do that. And I would sometimes with guys just say yes, just to please them. And deep down, I know I didn't want to, but I'll just be like, okay.
Do you regret it later?
A little bit. A little bit, but mostly the alcohol has really been the push factor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, alcohol has been a push factor in that. And when you realize that there are patterns to certain things, why do you do what you do? Why do I act the way I act? Then you get to realize, okay, number one root problem, it's the alcohol. I need to reduce my alcohol. When you're able to finish 2 bottles of wine alone.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And then it becomes 3. And then in the week, you'll be like, oh, I just had 2 glasses. And then you continue. And then you start texting. Hey, where are you? I miss you. And then I'll be very forefront about, like, I want this, I want that. And often, most of my sexual relations have been when I was in a relationship, but also when I was single. Yeah. Like, when you're single, but not single, there's always somebody in the sideline.
Yeah.
So that kind of single. And there was this one time that I had, what do you call these people that you just have your side piece?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a relationship and I was like his side piece. He was my side piece. We went out. He treated me well. We went to sleep over at a hotel. Mm-hmm. And the next morning I woke up alone.
He was gone.
He was gone. And then he left me taxi money. I felt so cheap. I felt like a prostitute in that moment. It wasn't nice. Yeah.
Wait, and this was someone you knew before? Like
Yes. We were, I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah, exactly. So not having boundaries, not knowing when to say no, not knowing who you are, discovering that it just puts you at that situation. And men will have you blinded for no reason. Sex will have you blinded for no reason. It makes you lose who you are. You are literally all about this person. You are literally all about sex all the time. So, yeah.
So, you said that alcohol is one of the main causes. Mm-hmm. Like, where did this alcoholism start from? What is the origin of this? Like, how did you start drinking?
How did I start drinking? I think I was in 7th grade with my family. And then like, hey, try it, because we are open like that. We don't want you to become trying your first alcohol at the bars and clubs, and we don't know what kind of person you're going to become. And I really applaud parents that would not encourage alcohol to drink it, but like, try it. Let me see how you react. Now you want to go have alcohol for the first time at some bar with unknown people. Yeah. And they drug you and everything. And so they're like, have it. So that's when I tried it. And high school, I was that girl that would always be like going with the boys to get some booze. Yes. So since then.
Okay.
But also what I've learned over time is that alcohol is very prevalent. Alcohol abuse is very prevalent in my family. My sister lost her job.
Oh, wow.
Due to alcohol abuse. And my brother also following the same footsteps, but he still has his job. But it's like, I can see the red flags. And I'm like, Lord, I do not want to become this person. So I started to reduce it. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, what you're doing to, remedy these things, right? Like, but I would ask it like, later. Okay. Have you ever tried, to abstain from sex? Like, have you ever tried abstinence? Being celibate?
I have no idea why, as a community, as society, as people, that we crucify people that are celibate. I don't know why we do that. And I'll be like, girl, you are celibate? You don't know what you're missing out on. I would judge people that are celibate. I'm sorry. I didn't know better. But I had this I had this person that made me want to get celibate.
Okay.
I don't think anybody plans to sleep with a married man. Sometimes people do. Like, you have evil intentions. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
In my situation, is that we started dating, we started seeing each other. Although he had children, I was ready to be a stepmom of 3.
He's a married person.
Yeah, he got married later.
Oh, okay.
So when we met, he was not married.
Okay.
And I was all his, got introduced, and we were in a serious relationship. And then he gets married, and I didn't know. And I'm still texting the day of the day he's getting married. He was still texting me, and I think the week before he got married, we were together. Because when I was checking the dates, I'm like, wow, this man made me run wild. My soul, I literally sold my soul to this guy. Like my will, my emotions, my body, everything, it belonged to him. I started second guessing myself, seeking validation, everything. I went rampage. I went crazy. And I'm like, Lord, how do I get over this? So I didn't have enough information. All I know is that you just have to fast and pray. But I was not praying it right. I was not fasting right. And I was like, you're not going to turn me crazy because of some dick. But even when he got married, because I loved him so much, we were still meeting.
Wait, so all this while you didn't know, you had no idea he was about to get married?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And when I found out, I was very hurt.
But I
still did it because I'm like, he's my man. Yeah. I love him. I had to fast. And to get back to your question, I was celibate. I tried celibacy. I did it 1 year and 6 months. So that's how far I've gone.
Wow. So what is the difference between the times you were celibate and the times you were sexually active? Was there any difference in your life?
You just have this joy and peace. You know what you want. You don't have to report to anyone. You don't have to check in. And there's just this sense of, I know where I'm going. I know where my goals are at. As women, when we engage in sex very early on in the relationships, this is how, again, I mentioned, we end up in toxic relationships. We just jump right into the bed first thing first. And we don't know what we want from a man. But better yet, we also don't know what we want from ourselves. Like I said, I lacked boundaries for a very long time. And because of that, you stay in relationships longer than you should. That's how it comes about. You stay in relationships that longer than that you should. And this man was in my life for as long as I could remember. It doesn't matter which relationship I was in. He would just come and I'll be like, yes. He would come, I'll be like, yes, I'll drop everything and run. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening to me, Lord, but help me get rid of this. I had to turn to God. There's that one man that drives women to become a born-again Christian. Not every situation requires a hardship and you turn to God, but there's always that one relationship that turns you to that.
So the times that you were celibate, were you actually celibate? Were you maybe because some people say they are celibate from sex, but they are still masturbating
or watching porn,
using toys themselves and all of that. Were you really, 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 really celibate? What was happening when you get horny, when you get aroused in your celibacy?
I would just start doing something else because I know it's coming on. And one thing is, I never learned really how to masturbate. I wanted to, but I've never learned to. I read books that would arouse me and I'll be like, I don't think I want to be here. And now it stopped. But yes, watching porn, that would still very much be a hold in my life. I would still be watching porn. Porn is not good, guys. But in terms of porn, the moment I start reading about the whole sex trafficking and whatnot and how girls are being used, and I started looking at porn very differently. But in my celibacy, yes, I would watch porn. I mean, curiosity got the best of me.
So let's discuss body counts.
Oh my God.
What is your body count?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm curious to know, what is your body count?
Really?
Yeah.
So I have this thing or had, or I still do, since high school, since my first virgin breaker. I write down the names of the guys that I've slept with.
You write them down?
Yeah, just the names. And like,
wait, you have
I don't know why I do that. So I journal a lot. I love writing. But I have a list of guys I've slept with.
Jesus Christ.
And it's not in a bad intention way. It's just to say, how have I tracked my sexual life? And why do I do? It's always about the why. Why do I do what I do? Why am I this promiscuous girl? Where does it come from? What makes me act out this way? So woman, we get into relationships thinking this is going to be my husband.
Yeah. Okay.
We get into
all of them?
Not all of us, but most of the time you really want something real out of it. So you're like, the next guy promises you, the next guy promises you, and it goes on and on and on. And so without you realizing it, poof, your body count has shoot up.
So you put numbers to this. Like, let's talk numbers.
So by the time I was done with varsity, I was at 10, 15.
Okay.
And the last time I checked, I was around 23, 25.
So until now, 25. So, but we are not counting the frequency of each of them.
No, we are not counting the frequency of each of them. Like, what is that? What is that?
So if we count frequency of each of them, that means we are like 200 or 300. Yeah, because you multiply like 23 by 10, that would be like 230. Right?
I don't know. I'm not going to answer that. Like, body count is really a shameful way of just putting women, like, when somebody's asking you, why aren't you married yet? Why aren't you married yet? Or when somebody asks you something like, why have you not graduated? Why have you not graduated? You should know that there's a stagnation in your life somewhere. There's procrastination that you're unaware of. There's just something wrong that you're doing. Then you need to do self-reevaluation. And so that's how I've been looking at that body count thing.
Let's talk about soul ties. Like all these guys, all these people, right? Don't you think that because I mean, I've heard people talk about how the people you sleep with, that you're entangling yourself with them, right? I mean, spiritually.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, you don't know what marine spirit is in their heads or in their family or whatever, or like courses and everything and all. Like, have you ever thought about soul ties? Like, you and the people that you've slept with?
Yeah, I have. And, people would preach this and say that. And I really thank God for my foundation of Christian faith. And you hear that, but then the message does not click until a certain time in your life where you go like, oh my God, now I really understand this. I have come to the understanding of it.
Yeah.
So yes, soul ties. I have made sex an idol in my life for the longest time. Lust has been my struggle. And not a lot of people would openly say that. When people give testimonies, they're like, I was an alcoholic. I was a drug lord. I was this. Like, it's so easy, but like nobody goes on the stage and say, I struggled with lust.
Yeah.
I love sex to the point that I put it before God. It became my idol. It became my God. Soul ties means your will, your emotions, your body belongs to this person, whereas it's supposed to belong to God first. Even in marriage, you belong to God first before you belong to your husband or your wife. And I didn't realize that with every guy that I'm sleeping with, hoping to attain a relationship, marriage, I got rejection. And this worked with my self-esteem my self-worth. I started questioning myself a lot as well. And seeking validation from men, from their penises, from their dicks, where I'm not supposed to. And so you don't realize the depth of soul ties until you come to the understanding of the actual reality of it's bad. Yeah.
So, do you think that it affects your future relationships, the fact that you've had all these souls tied to you? Do you think like, say you've slept with so number of men, meet another man, do you think that your previous relationships might affect the future ones? Like say maybe boyfriends come over and over again, looking like the same, having the same traits, behaving the same way, treating you the same way, like the other ones, right?
Well, you wouldn't be able to pick up that there's a pattern unless you come to the understanding to realize that there's a pattern.
So did you ever realize that there was a pattern?
Yes. I'm like, I'm dating the same guy over and over with a different face every time.
So in what way? Can you explain this?
A narcissistic, self-absorbed, egotistical man, selfish, and that's just putting me down. You know, in relationships, the moment you steal my joy, I'm like, I find joy in God. The joy of the Lord is my strength. And the moment you start to dim my light, instead we're supposed to illuminate each other together, and you do that, I'm like, this is not for me. So I'll be like having different guys, thinking it's going to be a really lasting relationship. And the traits, the behavior, the characteristics, the more I looked at it, I'm like, wow, okay, so really now, this is the same person that I dated over and over and over again. It really takes a while for you to get there, but when you do, you immediately just stop. Like you just stop because you have had enough. And you know, you got to a place where you did this on your own for so long, and now you need to just give it over to God. Like just let him do it. Let go, let God. It's not, it's easy saying that, but yeah. And how it affects your future relationships, now you know better. Now you're coming from a place of understanding. Now you cannot repeat your mistakes. Now you know I have to become the Proverbs 31 woman in order for my Ephesians 5 men to find me. You know.
What? So, have you ever had sex for money?
Money is the root of all evil, right? But sex is like the evil of all roots. That's one threshold I never, ever, ever, ever want to cross in my life. And I pray to God, like, I should not be tempted that way. But you know what? Because of my past sins and like just being in it, there were times when I was so broke, when I did not have money. I'm like, can I just not sell my pussy? Like, how do the women do it that sell it? Like, do I just go stand there? And if somebody that has come in my life and offered it for money, I would have done it. And I don't think I would be sitting here because I would have crossed a line that I could have never come back from. So no.
Okay. And like all this while, did you ever like, is there any time, right, that you felt like if you had been taking money from all these people, right? Like you regret maybe after every breakup, you regret like, if I was taking money from this person, maybe I wouldn't have been regretting it. Maybe I would be rich now, right? So instead of like giving it up for free, if I was like this type of woman that's, I demand, like ask for things. Have you ever like
there's no worth on your dignity. There's no worth on your dignity. And the covering of grace that I've had in my life did not really allow me to think
that way
at all. At all. So I'm sorry, I cannot answer that question. Oh, I don't know if I answered it the way you wanted to answer it. Like, let's just.
No, but I mean, I think I understand. I understand, like, why you wouldn't want to answer it that way, right? But how has sex affected your personal life? Up till this moment.
Up till this moment.
Yes. Your lifestyle.
When you think like, I shouldn't be here, I shouldn't be doing this. Okay. Like when your growth is just stuck, but you don't know why you are stuck or how you are stuck or how you can get out of it. When you know that you are meant for so much more. And for the longest time, I've sought validation from people, from men, doesn't matter, like in my religion, just in general. But I've never really asked God, what do you say about me? What do you think about me? Like, I've never sat down and asked that. I did not complete things I should on time. I did not do the things I would say. So accountability, like, lacked so much in my life. And it really has affected my personal life in that order of stagnation, procrastination, delays. Yeah. Like, you don't think about it. But when you sit down and think about it, you see, it goes back to the list. So the list, the body count list, there's the years attached to when I did this. And I'm like, because sometimes 2020 to 2023, I don't know what I did with my life. Honestly, I have no idea. That's the time that I backslided the most. I don't know what I did. And when you look at it, you go like, I should not be here, because there's that delay. There's that stagnation that you don't remember what happened to you, because you were just so stigmatized and idolizing sex. Yeah.
Certainly this level of sexual experience, or as I say, experiences, involved a lot of contraception, abortion, STDs, right? Like, can you, did you ever abort a baby?
Well, let's just say the grace of the Lord and His mercies have been ever ending.
Okay.
Never ending in my life. And you would think that with so much experiences, like, you'd caught an STD, but no.
So you never caught an STD?
No, I've always been so careful, and that's one thing I've always feared, like syphilis, gonorrhea, HPV, no.
HIV.
Yes. How did I forget the worst one? So no, I am STI, HIV, AIDS free.
Okay.
I've always protect myself around that. Contraceptives, so you go buy the morning after pill, you go buy this, you go buy that. And I've had one abortion, yes.
Like contraception abortion, or you went to the hospital to abort a baby?
No, abortion is illegal in my country. So I bought the pill.
The pill. Okay.
And I did it.
Yeah.
And little did I know that I'm murdering a baby. Like, you just like, oh, I can't afford it right now. I don't understand the situation I'm in right now, my family situation and stuff like that. And we don't speak openly about it because, you just get victimized and, but until I came across this lady, a prophetess, Tiffany Montgomery. If you get a chance, regardless of whether you're male or female, you need to watch her, Tiffany Montgomery. So she said that I gave my baby up for a demon called Melok. That's the sacrifice I made. That's the altar that I had given my baby to, because I said I cannot afford it. And I killed, this debate about it's still a child or it's a baby or it's a fetus. Is it a human being? And God tells you that He has formed you before you were in the womb of your mom. And she says that I've given up my child to Melok, this demon, that I need to repent. I need to renounce, and I need to replace my covenant new with God. And you'd realize that you have abdominal pains that you don't even know why it comes from or why it stems from. And so she says that it's that constant reminder of the murder, that sin you had created.
Hey.
And once you do that, it stops. It's crazy. This lady is like God sent for a lot of women and men as well, because we exclude men in it. She says that if you assisted somebody in buying the pill or taking them to the hospital, or you aided them in murder. This is how, that African proverb that I did not steal the meat, but yet you have the soup. That. So yes, I am a baby murderer. But it's amazing how God just forgives you, like washes you clean of it all once you just repent, renounce the old, and get into a new covenant with Him. I never thought about it for the longest time. Honestly, I was just like, oh, it's done. You move on with your next day, because it's not even a baby yet, right? It's just a bean. And until recently, when I started listening to that lady, I was like, wow. It just went poof. So you would think with my many sexual experiences, relations, I may be at a number or numerous abortions, but no, I only had that one.
Do you regret all these things? Like, if you were to go back to 15, when you were 15, would you go through the same experience? Would you change your life? What would you change if you were given the power to change things?
I would have not had sex at all. At all. If there was, there was this, I don't know if you had that, the organizations coming to speak to you about sexual orientation and stuff at schools. And yes, we that's how the using the contraceptives came about, protecting yourself using condoms and everything. Yes. But the spiritual aspect is hardly taught. Not that you need to teach that at the moment. That's the responsibility of the parents.
Yeah.
But when you start to take this walk, it's really important for ladies that have done it, that have gone through it, to share the real experience as it is. Like, as Christians, we sugarcoat a lot of things. Like, I don't know why we do that. We just like, hey, I gave my life to Christ. I'm a born again Christian. Why? Like, how did it come about? Like, and sometimes there is no reason to. I gave my life to Christ in 2018, and it's been the best 2 to 3 years of my life. Like, that time I was celibate, it was amazing. Like, instant prayers answered. Things were just moving. I had money. I lacked nothing. There were no struggles at all. And so it's just, people share their stories, but until you have the understanding of the why, it never resonates with you. People will stop you from doing things. Like, people will warn you, like, this path you are on, my child, like, but you don't get it until you have come to self to say, wow. You know that, I don't know if you've driven drunk driving.
Nope. I love my life so much.
Okay. I know you're not supposed to drink and drive, but I almost want to say I don't love it, but I'm always in that situation that I have to drive people back. And I know I'm carrying souls, but I'm drunk. I don't have a choice. And you have done this a couple of times. And you notice that in your family, there's that particular time of the year that somebody dies in an accident. But this doesn't, you don't pick it up. You don't realize it. But there's that particular time God says or whispers to you or tells you, if you do this one more time,
might be the end.
It might be the end. And I'm using drunk driving as an example, but it could be any other thing that you are struggling with. So for me, it was, if you continue fornicating,
You might just catch an STD.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Okay. So you told me that all these things were in your past, right?
Mm.
I have one question for you that I'm sure the viewers will be wondering. Why are you sharing all this now? Like, why are you sharing your story? Why are you letting them out? Because some people will think like, oh, these things are too private. Like, I mean, someone, when the first part of this video came out, said that they wish they have the courage to share their story and all of that. Like, why are you sharing your story? What is the reason? Is it just for entertainment? Is it just for fun? Or, yeah, can you throw more light?
It's not for entertainment. Well, if you take it as entertainment, pickups to Stanley. Sharing one story, you don't know how it shines a light on the next person's story or problem or whatever that they are going through. You know that thing of pay it forward?
Uh-huh.
If God has blessed you with so much, why don't you
pay it forward?
Exactly. Equip the next person. It's like what's that thing? When you are training up the next generation of leaders, you know? And I don't know how my story is going to affect any of the viewers that are watching. Of course, the first part would be sounding like I'm idolizing sex and glorifying it and all that. Yeah. But everybody has a story and you don't know how your story affects the next person. For me, like I said, I love journaling. I love writing. And when I didn't know why I was doing it, but I knew I had to turn it into a book at some point. Okay. And I know I was writing it for my daughter or daughters. Even my sons, I mean, you don't want to read about your mom's sexual history, yes, but what can you pick up that will just prevent you from not doing certain things or help you?
So that means you're sharing it as a testimony.
As a testimony.
Where God brought you
from. Yes, but then if as a testimony, I still need to get real about it.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is just sharing a little light of
on it. So what advice do you have for young teenagers out there? Like what advice would you give to a 15-year-old you right now watching this video?
Hi, 15-year-old me. Honestly, the enemy would just come to steal, attack, and destroy. And mostly they do that with your identity, your focus, and your passion. And it starts there. What are your interests? Do you know what are your interests? Do you know what you like? Do you know what you want to become? How do you want to get there? And so many a times when you open yourself up to sex, you have invited so many things that you aren't aware of. And you don't have the proper tools, the strategies to fight back whatever that might be coming because you opened the door. And you don't know what comes through the door. And you have not equipped yourself to fight back. So, like always, that do not engage in conversations that you aren't really aware of what you're going to say or how. Just be quiet when you don't have anything nice to say, like kind of conversations. So, if you are curious, ask somebody. I think my thing was I never really got to ask because there's so much shame attached to sex. It's so shameful. Like, how do you just ask your church mommy, like, hey, I watched pornography last night. I don't know how to stop. Or I've slept with this and this man. I've slept with the brother. I don't know how to stop. I like it. I like it so much. So And the whole boyfriend thing, it gets so glamorized. The whole girlfriend thing, it gets so glamorized, like by the social medias. And honestly, the Bible is our best friend. Like most of the things, I did not read a lot of Bible. I just like hearsay, because you watch YouTube, you listen to this preacher, but you don't fact check even the preacher that when you go to church. You don't go back to say, oh, he preached about A, B, C, D. Is it true? Is it written in the Bible? This is why we go astray as Christians. So to my young 15-year-old, if you can just delay having sex, just delay it and think about how you can build yourself up to be you and to be for your husband. There was a reason why maybe our parents didn't have that understanding back then, but there was a reason why they would have arranged marriages and telling you to wait before sex. Because I mean, the whole question of the size matter and stuff like that, we are not supposed to know what sizes are there. Yeah. We are not supposed to know how it should feel like. Yeah. Or we are not supposed to know the variations of it all. These things we're supposed to explore with that one person. But if you have done it already, just figure out how you can stop. Seek help. Seek counseling.
Okay. So you've heard it, right? Juliet was sharing these testimonies on the things about her past life with me, and I told her and I talked with her that if other young girls out there, because I mean, she told me how she regret them and how she want to change and how she has changed. Now she's a Christian. She's like going to Bible studies all the time. She's like, born again and doing all of that. And if you're listening, I wouldn't want you to first of all, do not judge her, because you cannot judge someone you don't know their full story. You heard what the things she has said about her family, how her father was also promiscuous, how her mother didn't have time and all of that. So what I would say here is, if you were a young girl, learn from Juliet's story. Learn. Just see it as a way to change your own ways. Like, see it as a way of looking into your future, right? She is saved. Who knows? She might go on to become Tiffany. She might go on to become a minister. You never know. So I really applaud her bravery. Like, I really applaud the fact that she is able to sit down here and share all the stories. Really, like, I mean, I've had fun. I've enjoyed, hearing all the stories and all of that. But amidst that, the fact that she has the courage to share it, and the intentions of sharing this is to help young people out there who are on this path, right? Alcoholism, sex, over sexuality, hookup, and all of those things. Like, they are not the way to go. This podcast is meant for people to learn and get knowledge, right? And I believe that even though you were entertained, even though you enjoyed hearing Juliet's sex stories, right? I'm sure that you've also gotten one or two message out of this today. Okay. That being said, I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.